till the dome comes down, and just in a couple. 8:30, of course, is the time.
Yes. Answer.
It sounds like Dennis was having the most fun playing our trivia game.
Yeah, you've done well out here, Dennis, yeah.
I want to set the scene for you. We have thousands, at least 1,000 people on this bridge. They've closed off 2 lanes of traffic so people can walk on the bridge. There are people along the freeway, all along Beacon Hill, watching the implosion or expecting to see the implosion. A huge crowd here.
Pretty amazing. And in the crowd, Chuck Boyle, who spent the last 2 decades slinging beer and peanuts in the dome. You going to be sad to see it go?
Yeah, I'll be sad to see it go, but I am working at Safeco, so I'm still doing what I love to do.
There you go. Chuck Boyle still doing what he loves to do. Will be selling beer and peanuts in the new stadium, he hopes. And this is the scene. We're in amongst them. A huge crowd here. Great view.
You can't see it, but there's a woman here with a big couch. I mean, she came prepared. And
she brought furniture.
And there are people here who have been here all night. They slept here. It's incredible.
People have been living here overnight and just waiting about another 40 minutes. 40 minutes!
40 minutes.
And a dome comes down. Let's throw it back to you. Dennis, Gene?
All right, Alan and Lori, thank you. And the dome is going to come down and give people a lot of information about how this area of Seattle would behave if there were an earthquake. And so they have people stationed with, as Glenn pointed out, seismic monitors just to see how this area reacts when there's such a big boom and a big bounce. And as this all unfolds, Scott Miller's going to tell us exactly what they're looking for, what the time schedule is, and what you, the viewer here at King 5, can expect. Scott?
Well, I'm here in this sea of tripods and cameras as the media watches the dome come down, but the command post is actually on the other side of the dome from here, and that's where the people who have planned this entire implosion say that everything is still going exactly according to plan. The final countdown begins before dawn as police block streets and divert traffic away from the Kingdome. 2.5 hours before the implosion, demolition workers hook 6 electric blasting caps to wires that lead to this box with buttons. It will deliver the electric charge that will start a chain reaction of explosions.
Basically, it's a capacitor discharge blasting machine. It's got batteries in it that would nicely power your D-cell flashlight at home. It's got a bunch of them.
At 30 seconds, an all clear comes from local authorities monitoring the scene. At 10 seconds, the first button is pushed to charge the capacitor. At 5 seconds, the countdown goes silent.
The last 5 seconds of the countdown is silent. So anyone who needs to call in and say, stop, we've got somebody in the wrong place, we stop.
Then the final button is pushed, igniting 21 miles of detonation cord strung in circles around the Kingdome.
Series of rifle cracks you'll hear when we say fire is going to be this line going off. That is just strictly for initiation. It's not doing anything structural at all. So all you're going to hear for the first 3 seconds is this cord going off. And the reason you see him space...
The cord connects to explosive assemblies like this one. Blasting caps and sticks of dynamite have already been stuffed in 5,000 holes drilled in Kingdome concrete. At 3 seconds, the first sticks of dynamite go off. They fracture supports holding 3 of the dome's 6 roof sections in place. For the next 6.6 seconds, timed explosions take out the remaining roof sections and support columns along the perimeter. At about 9 seconds, the explosions end. The falling roof pulls the sides of the building inward.
All we're doing is releasing the things now that hold the structure up. It's going to come down by itself with gravity's help.
In 20 seconds, it is over. The implosion leaves 50,000 tons of debris. Rubble on the inside, 60-foot columns standing on the outside. But the Kingdome is history. Now, while we were in that taped piece, a representative of Turner Construction Company just stepped up to the microphone just a minute ago and said, we are on time, about 37 minutes and counting right now. The implosion is still expected to happen as scheduled at 8:30. Dennis, Gene, back to you.
Hey, Scott,
thanks.
And that implosion will happen no earlier than 8:30 as well.
Right. Now, what you're seeing in the shot right here is our countdown clock. We're keeping you on the second exactly as that dome comes down. And it's expected, as you can tell, at 8:30 this morning.
Now on the north end of the Kingdome, where the restriction zone is right up against Pioneer Square, apparently there's been some trouble, people trying to get into the restriction zone, and Darren Watkins is down there to tell us more about that.
We're here right now at the command post, and they've had a number of problems this morning, Seattle Police has, in actually trying to keep people out of some of the restricted areas. They've had several reports of people climbing fences, getting up on top of buildings in different areas. But right now there's some 300 police officers, another 300 or so emergency workers with the fire department, with C-Trans, that sort of thing, all keeping their eyes on the site just to make sure that no one gets inside an area where it is dangerous. In fact, we're told now that one person, in fact, did that last night, just after midnight. Someone climbed the fence and almost got inside the dome before he was spotted by a police officer and then escorted out. When asked what he was doing there, he didn't really have an answer, and police are now telling us he appeared to be quite intoxicated. There are a number of steps they're taking here right now, trying to get this area ready, last-minute preparations. They've gone and made sweeps through the area again to make sure there wasn't anyone homeless in some of the typical areas that they had usually slept around the area. They've made a check, and that has been completed. Also, some of the crews have walked around handing out earplugs this morning, telling us here that the sound may actually be a bit louder channeled through these buildings than was earlier expected. Also, we've been told that the trains over the train yard has now laid down carpeting over some of the tracks just to make sure that the debris doesn't land there and sort of contaminate any of the area there. So the train system is being held off coming through here until they can get that all completed. Right before the blast, we're going to be hearing some large klaxons and horns going off so that the birds in the area will sort of be scattered and won't be a problem here. And then the construction crews are already standing by to get ready to start taking the rubble out almost immediately after the dome is brought down. We'll be here at the command center bringing the latest. I'm Darren Watkins.
All right, Darren, thank you. And in case any of you had wanted to take the underground tour in Pioneer Square this morning, either because you really wanted to take the tour or because you wanted to hide and get a good seat for the implosion, that tour is off until 11 o'clock this morning. So sorry, folks, no underground tour of Pioneer Square until 11 this morning.
And the reason for that, too, is the entrance to the underground tour is in the restriction zone.
Right.
And the underground of Seattle has held up very well in a number of earthquakes at 6-point magnitude since the early 1900s, so it's safe down there. They don't worry about that. But because the entrance is in the exclusion zone, have to wait till this is over.
All right, we've been talking about favorite Kingdome moments. Some of my favorite newspaper moments, the Tacoma News Tribune, in a great wrap-up on what we can expect from the Kingdome, said, now, the police are particularly worried about people hiding under manhole covers or being masquerading as a bush so that they can get really close to the Kingdome. Police say they haven't found too many incidents of this, but I thought, gee, that was a word to the wise. They'll find you if you're dressed as a bush this morning. And the Seattle Times, which I thought the Saturday version of the Sunday paper had what the new stadium will look like, but today's version of the Seattle Times surprisingly had a little square at the bottom of the paper saying all the latest on the Kingdome will be in tomorrow's paper. I was kind of surprised not to see perhaps today's dome and tomorrow's dome on the front page of the paper, but that will, of course, be the front page of the paper tomorrow.
We want to welcome viewers on Northwest News who are now joining us for a coverage of the dome to dust. The Kingdome implosion is right on schedule and will happen in just under 33 minutes. At about this time, there are traffic slowdowns, rolling stops, and some of the on-ramps and off-ramps on I-5 and on I-90 have been closed. Jim Foreman is up in Sky King to give us the look on traffic down below. Jim.
Yeah, the traffic is starting to build in volume in downtown Seattle, and now the Department of Transportation has started implementing their slowdown and closure procedures. The on and off ramps from Northgate all the way south of downtown on I-5 are going to be closed until at least half an hour after the implosion, and the State Patrol beginning those slowdowns. Stay off the roads. That's the best advice. I'm Jim Foreman, live in Sky King.
All right, Jim, thank you. It does look like a ghost town, and, you know, there's a lot of work being done, not just to implode the building, but to see what it's like after a big quake. Let's take a look after we go to break. We'll be right back.
You've been watching special coverage of the dome implosion. We will get right back and have continued coverage of the dome implosion right after this short break.
Now get Touched by Love, a new 36-song collection of the most popular soft rock hits.
I love you.
Feel the magic of love in every song. Touched by Love is not sold in stores, so order now. Call toll-free now for Touched by Love. 2 cassettes, $19.98, 2 CDs, $26.98, plus $4.95 shipping. Call now.
We offer more than a simple alarm. We offer monitored protection, a person-to-person connection to save a home or a life. Now, for a limited time, you can get a Protection One remote response system free. You pay only a low monthly monitoring fee and one-time activation charge. This package comes with everything most homes need, plus a free remote control. Call now for a free in-home security evaluation. And just for phoning, this 12-page safety booklet. Act today. Remember, in the few seconds it takes to make the call, another break-in will occur.
Great place to live and work? Connect to Renton. Energetic. Innovative. Creative. Vibrant. Great choice for business. Great choice to play. Great choice to learn. Great place to call home. Connect to Renton.
Now from Northwest News, special coverage.
We continue our special coverage of the King Dome implosion. We are now just a half an hour away. We want to now join King 5 Television.
Last day of the King Dome. It would have turned 24 years old tomorrow. Completed March 20. What's today's date? March 27th, 1976 it was completed. It was open at that time.
And what better place to enjoy the implosion of the King Dome than on King 5, so thanks for being with us and stay with us. We've got 28 cameras at your disposal, and yes, 2 of them are disposable. They're inside of the King Dome, so you'll see what it looks like inside the dome as the dome turns to dust right here on King 5.
And we know traffic around the area is slowed up considerably now. The rolling slowdowns and on-ramps closed on I-90. Interstate 5 as well, and rolling slowdowns on 520 as it approaches I-5. So obviously you're staying at home for the duration to get the best seat in the house. We do have people all over the city in a number of different locations who've come out here early this morning. Some even camped out overnight just to get their favorite spot to see the dome implode personally.
All right, we're going to be sharing with you some of our favorite King Dome moments. We're right on schedule. The dome's set to implode at 8:30, and Mark Lazo of Controlled Demolitions, the man who's going to blow up the building, or whose company's charged with blowing up the building, says everything's just right on schedule. Traffic moving very, very slowly. What traffic there is out there on this Sunday morning.
And what the State Patrol has done is the rolling slowdown means that the traffic going through the Interstate 5 right now is slowed to 10 miles per hour, and that is it. And then up very close to the implosion, that traffic will actually stop.
I don't know if you can hear this hum in the air above us, but I can count, probably 2, 4, 6, 8 helicopters. And the helicopters, we're told there are supposed to be 17 helicopters up here in the sky. So I don't know if the only news we'll be covering is the King Dome implosion, folks. That's a lot of helicopters in a very small airspace.
Now, one of the helicopters is Sky King.
And that's right, and that's where Jim Foreman is, bringing this story to you live from Sky King. Jim?
Yeah, we were told expect 17 different aircraft up over the King Dome when it comes down in just a little less than half an hour. There you can see the on-ramps to I-5 and I-90 are being shut down. This one the north end of Seattle, and it is going to start thinning the flow of traffic, and then we can show you that rolling slowdown again. The point of that is to make sure that everybody is going at a crawl, so if somebody is distracted by something during the implosion time, then they don't have a big high-speed crash. So that's what's going on right now. We'll see the freeway system shut down completely just before the implosion, also being shut down Highway 99, and then they are going to have bridge inspectors out checking all the roadways right after the big blast. So we will stay on top of it. I'm Jim Foreman reporting live in Sky King.
All right, Jim, thanks. Everything's set again. You're watching the countdown clock on the lower portion of your frame right here on King 5. And Controlled Demolition says everything is A-OK, traffic moving fine, the explosives all in place, and everything is exactly on schedule.
Interesting note, the clock that Controlled Demolitions is using is set to the atomic clock at the U.S. Naval Observatory. We're also told that the implosion will happen no earlier than 8:30. So.
I've been saying 2 disposable cameras inside the dome. There are actually 4 disposable cameras, and we're going to bring you those pictures inside the dome, and a grand total of 28 cameras we've got posted in and around the dome for the implosion a little more than 20 minutes from now.
One of the non-disposable cameras is up at Harbor View, where King 5's Margaret Larson and Paul Sylvia are.
I hope so. Boy, I'm going to be upset if we're disposable at this point. We are in the countdown now. It is quite serious, and this place went from black and white to in color in the last few minutes. We are talking about planes going overhead, pulling banners, bands playing, music, boom boxes, kids selling candy, making a little money for the captive audience down here and the hungry people who haven't had breakfast yet. What do you think?
Oh, I think it's beautiful now. There's a lot of people here. We just take a quick look over the hill here. You can see the hill is really filled in nicely, and they're still coming in because we are into the last half hour. So we can expect a lot of action here, and of course a lot of action across I-5 as we continue.
Well, we have seen just a couple of people when we first arrived. How many people were here?
Oh, just a couple of knuckleheads and ourselves.
we were probably the goofiest of the bunch, but there were some people who started out here at 1 o'clock waiting for the really best seat, and now there are, officially a zillion people here. So let's look over there real quick. Hi, guys. How are you? This lady, in fact, has, you've got a cast on your foot, don't you? What happened to you?
Oh, I broke my foot.
But you came all the way up here to see the Kingdom come down.
1 foot, yeah. Came all the way down I went to the first rock concert here, so I decided I had to watch it go down.
What was the concert?
Led Zeppelin.
Led Zeppelin. Okay, well, so that's it. We've got Billy Graham, we've got Led Zeppelin, we've got Barney, all kinds of things happening at the Dome, and Paul's talking to somebody, too.
Oh, just a quick word with Jim Wright. Jim Wright caught 9 home run balls in the Kingdom, and 28 total, right?
28 total, and hopefully there'll be a lot more at Safeco.
So Jim's out here. He's got the trident up here, the old Mariner hat, so he's ready to go, and people are all set to go here, and we'll see what happens here as we continue. The excitement's starting to build just a little bit. Back to you, Gene.
All right, Paul,
that's some feat. That guy caught all those home run balls at the Kingdom.
No, that's
incredible.
Not some feet, Dennis. That's some hands.
Some hands, that's right.
Favorite Kingdom moment?
Absolutely. I was at Game 5 of the series against the New York Yankees, sitting in the 200 level down the right field line. And I think as everyone who watched that game in the Kingdom, also on television as well, when the ball left Martinez's bat down the left field line, everyone was up off their feet, and you knew something exciting was happening. I couldn't believe Griffey could run that fast. And, I mean, he made it around from second, third to home in a flash, and that was absolutely the best moment at the Kingdom, the best sports moment I've ever witnessed live.
God, I could just smell the hot dogs and almost feel the dust as you talk about it. I think my favorite actual non-sporting event was watching Mick Jagger and the Rolling Stones in the Kingdom. But my favorite sporting event was several seasons of really great winning Seahawks football.
Yeah.
Steve Largent on the team, Dave Craig on the team. A lot of spirit behind the team. And, of course, that's why we're blowing up this building, is so we can have an even better football facility and see an even better Seahawks team play.
A new tradition for the Seahawks in a new stadium.
And everybody sure hopes it happens, because we're going through a lot to make it happen. We're going through an implosion that's absolutely on schedule, set for 8:30 this morning. And just to warn you, there's going to be a siren about 2 minutes out before the implosion. And some of the noise you're going to hear is to scatter the birds. Some of the noise you're going to hear is a siren, a warning sound 2 minutes out, and then you're going to hear the big bomb.
You'll also be hearing some of two-way traffic from the people for Controlled Demolition, specifically Jim Santoro, who's the senior project manager who's in charge of this.
Right.
You know, the folks at Evening Magazine are helping us out today. John Curley is on one of the Argosy boats in Elliott Bay, and I can't wait to see what he has for us.
All right, John?
Dennis, Gene, how are you, my friends?
We're doing just fine. We love those T-shirts, Mr. Curley, and what a nice hat.
Oh, my
Thank you very much. You know, we're here on the MV Kirkland. This ship was originally a ferry back in 1924. I don't know how many people we have on board. Make yourself known. Scream out, everybody. We've got a great seat. It's a little shaky up here, but I'd like to demo for you now exactly what we can expect. I know we've been showing those crappy computer photos of what it'll look like. Let me give you a better idea of what it'll look like when the dome goes up. Gene, Dennis, do you guys want to see that? Gene, Dennis.
Okay, say that again. We're getting some instructions about the trains here. Train traffic.
Anderson, you're not listening to me?
I'm absolutely listening to you, John, but who believes a man in a crazy hat like that?
This is golden.
This is gold. All right.
All right, you ready?
Give us a scoop.
Okay, this is basically what we're going to see is the implosion. I'll do it for you now. In a count of 3. Here we go. They're going to give, look for the explosions occurring around the kingdom. Here we go. 3, 2, 1.
Timing's everything, John.
There should be.
John, timing is everything.
Hey, John.
Hold on. You know what? It was supposed to.
John,
yeah,
the explosion goes at 5 miles per second, John. Okay. Oh.
Thank you, John.
John Curley's still trying
I worked on this all night. Wait, Gene Dennis, come on.
Well, you still have 20 minutes, John.
Wait a minute.
That's good, John. You've still got 20 minutes.
It's supposed to be a bigger explosion.
Okay, well, we'll get back to you.
Demolition's working for
That's right. Controlled Demolition is the group in charge of blowing up the kingdom, and when it finally does go, we're told that it will go at 5 miles per second, which is quick. The entire kingdom is going to turn to dust in less than 15 seconds, and John will still be blowing up his hat. I mean, you know.
Keep trying, John. It's not going to work.
The T-shirts were good, though, John. The T-shirts were good.
Let's go to Alan Schaffler and Lori Matsukawa.
Hey, Dennis. Hey, Gene. We are on the 12th Street Bridge, us and about 4,000 other people right now. People have been congregating here since 1, 2, 3 in the morning. Sleeping bags are out. People have been barbecuing burgers, and Lori has a fashion description right now.
This is the way to be appropriately attired for a kingdom implosion. This is George Rowe of Seattle. He's 7. Turn around and show him the back of that hat. Isn't that perfect? He is just perfectly dressed for an implosion.
Ready for the dome. We want to take you over here now to the bank of the hillside just southeast of the dome. There are probably 1,500 or 2,000 people on this bank around the corner there. People climbing up into trees, if you can see that. Looks like a very precarious spot, but these folks do have a great seat. They don't look too comfortable. It's not exactly a 100-level seat in the dome, but they do have a good view of the kingdom, and the view is what brought everybody out. It's really a great spot to see it.
And from here, you can also see just tons and tons of boats out on Elliott Bay. There are big boats, little boats, sailboats, canoes, all manner of watercraft out there on Elliott Bay. They're going to have a great view, too.
We're all going to have a great view here in just about 18, 20 minutes. I don't have the clock available to us, so you can fill us in on how many seconds we are out, but everybody here waiting for this to happen. Is it going to work, folks?
Yeah.
We've got some nods, we've got some head shakers too, so we'll see.
And some people still waking up too.
Yeah, a lot of people still waking up. Parking is a mess here. Don't bother coming here. We've seen cars towed off the hillside down here, out of the neighborhood up here. If you're coming, come on foot or come by bicycle. A lot of folks doing that. Say goodbye.
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 Still hard to believe that many people out on a Sunday morning.
Well, they're not going to be out driving around because westbound I-90 is now closed. They're doing rolling slowdowns and stoppages on all the freeways around the area. The area around 7th and Holgate in Alaska is now completely cordoned off, and the trains have stopped and the tracks have been carpeted or covered with a visqueen. And so now
there are actually 4 trains that were, I think, 3 departures and 1 arrival to arrive at King Street Station today, but that was closed down at 6, closed from 6 to noon time, and those folks were being picked up in Tacoma and Edmond.
Right, and they're beginning to close the ramps on the freeways right around the Kingdom area, folks. So stay home and enjoy the Kingdom explosion right here on King 5. And my favorite traffic warning of the morning is if you were planning on doing the underground tour in Pioneer Square, it's called off this morning until 11 o'clock. So don't tour the underground this morning, folks. It's closed temporarily. I love it. I just love it.
One of the best locations to be right now is at the Columbia Tower, the Bank of America Tower, and King 5's Linda Brill is at the Tower Club with a great view of the dome, looking down on it.
Dennis, we're up 75 stories up, and we are at a very upscale party here at the Columbia Club Tower. Let's take a look out now and see what the people here are looking. As soon as they approach this window, they just go, wow, this is awesome. One of the best views in the city of watching the Kingdom blow up, or blow in, as we've been hearing all morning. Now, you know, one other thing that we've been noticing from up here is a lot of little people down there. Take a look at the Smith Tower. There are people out on the roof of the Smith Tower. Their view is not as high as ours. They have a party going on there. That is a $125 a head party in the Chinese room, and that is full today. There's other parties around the city, the Norton Building, members of the Harbor Club. That's where Paul Allen is today, the Seahawks owner. And if you look over to the right now, this is the most incredible sight from this building. It looks like Seafair in March. We were trying to guess from up here how many boats are out in the Elliott Bay right now. I was saying 500. Other people are saying thousands. The point is they keep streaming in, and it has been a steady flow of boats coming into the bay all morning, lining up, ready to sea. Well, we're all waiting for this big 18 seconds of dust and noise. We figure we're not going to have a good time hearing it being inside, but we'll probably feel it. You'll feel it. You'll be feeling it too.
Oh yeah, what a view of Elliott Bay.
It's incredible, and it strikes me looking at that picture that this is the party that we didn't have on New Year's. And the Space Needle's a great place to watch from, but the Space Needle was supposed to be the scene of a great New Year's party. This is the scene of a great end of March party and an end of the Dome party. So enjoy your late New Year's, folks. This is what New Year's is like in Seattle in the year 2000.
Keep an eye on the lower right-hand corner of your screen. That is a countdown clock from at 0. It begins to turn. The dome begins to turn to dust, and that is an accurate count.
It's right on time. Now, you're going to hear a siren go off 2 minutes before, and then you're going to hear a series of other explosions and loud noises. And Mark Loiseau, the head of Controlled Demolition, who's blowing not down, not blowing up the building, says, when I asked him how loud it was going to be from our vantage point a block away, he said, how good an imagination do you have? And I said, really good. And he said, not good enough. You can't imagine how loud this is going to be. And also, it creates a wind of 100 miles an hour within the Kingdome, and we're a block away. I'm wondering if we're going to blow away.
I think we're not going to blow away. I think if you were standing next to the Kingdome, you would feel that 100-mile-per-hour wind. It will dissipate by the time it gets to us. But we could feel not necessarily gale force winds, but a good steady breeze. And for the 150 reporters and photographers and technicians who are here at Safeco, earplugs have been passed out just in case they want to be used.
That's right. And we're securing all our duffel bags and our backpacks and our shooting equipment here. So we're getting ready for the implosion, which is right on time. Jim Foreman up in Sky King, he's going to have an awesome view as well. Jim, Sky King bringing you the Kingdome implosion.
Yeah, well, we want to talk about traffic. Those slowdowns and closures are now in effect. You're looking at westbound I-90. There you can see the leading edge of the trooper cars. What they're going to do is basically keep everybody stacked up here until the implosion and the dust settles, and then they'll get things reopened again. So getting around Western Washington, pretty tough right now. If you were planning on trying to make it down here in 14 minutes, good luck. Don't think it's going to happen. I'm Jim Foreman, live at Sky King. There you can see from our Department of Transportation cameras also that 520 is also impacted as well. So I-5, 520, I-90, the Alaskan Way Viaduct all will be shut down or slowed down until at least half an hour after the implosion. Back to you guys.
All right,
okay, Jim. As you look at the countdown clock, just under 14 minutes, the Kingdome weighed about 110,000 tons. There's only about 50,000 tons of it left. Much of it has been carted out. And to bring down what is left of the Kingdome, they're using, Controlled Demolitions is using about 2 tons of explosives. And they are 1-inch by 8-inch sticks of dynamite, which are being put in about 5,900 different holes that have been drilled around the Kingdome over the past couple of months.
You're going to miss it, aren't you? You've learned so much about the Kingdome. Baseball was your favorite moment in the Dome, right?
Yeah, this is one of the last times we'll see this
That's right. In 15 minutes or so, we're going to say bye-bye Kingdome as it turns to dust. And we're also going to take a radio transmission of what the Controlled Demolition people and Turner Construction people are going to hear as the Dome comes down. They're talking to each other. They're listening to the sounds inside of the Dome, and that's what we're going to bring to you right here on King 5 this morning.
Jim Santoro, who's Senior Projects Manager for Controlled Demolitions, is the voice, the main voice that you will hear. And the key moments that you will hear from him, you'll hear in all clear with about 30 seconds left. He will actually begin the countdown at 10 seconds and then stop speaking at 5. And in that last 5 seconds, if anyone needs to stop the demolition for whatever reason, that's when it will happen. But and then when it comes down to 0, Mr. Santoro's voice will say fire, and then the button will be hit. The detonation box will be fire button will be hit, and all heck will break loose.
And they're going to give away some free rubble on 3 upcoming Saturdays. Just thought we ought to throw that factoid in. We've got 28 cameras at work for you this morning, 4 of them inside the Kingdome when the Kingdome blows. Bellied up to the barricades, Alyssa Hahn herself for King 5 News in Pioneer Square. Alyssa.
In and out these dust dust filters that people are going to be wearing on their face. I've got 10-year-old Ethan Brame from Anacortes, right?
Yep.
Okay, he's going to model this mask for us, and you can see some other people also have them on as well. Tell me, first of all, what we were talking about how great the view is down here. We were looking at the Columbia Tower view, too. What's so cool about being this close to the implosion?
Just seeing it lively from not on TV and to be here.
You're going to have a pretty big dust cloud coming down over here. You were looking forward to that, too?
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people seem to think that's a really cool thing. I'm going to show you, if you look up, you can see people who are up on the rooftops down here, too, trying to crane their necks and see what they can of the implosion. A lot of folks down here at the Turner CDI party. These are all special guests who have been invited down here to get pretty much as close as you can get to the Kingdome and see this for yourself. For those people who decided not to see it on TV. Jane and Dennis, let's toss it back to you.
All right, Alyssa Hahn down in Pioneer Square. We're battening down the hatches here at our post at Safeco Field. As well we should, because a $100 million insurance policy has been taken out in case there's any damage to any of the buildings around the Kingdome area. I understand
that's taken out by Turner Construction, who's building the new stadium, who built the Rose Garden down in Portland, and who did the renovations at Key Arena as well. So
that's right.
They put their stamp on the Pacific Northwest.
Right. There have been photographs taken of the buildings around here so that if any cracks develop, if any faults in the building develop, they've got a before and an after picture. And, you know, this whole area is built on fill, and it's a very fragile area, just as we all know the viaduct is built on fill. They say everything's going to be safe. They say there will be no other damage, that all that they're really expecting to happen is that the Kingdome implodes, but of course everybody's watching.
Which is a good time to remind folks, too, the 200 seismometers that are placed around the Seattle area to measure what the implosion will do to the Seattle Fault, which runs from Bainbridge through Seattle all the way to the east side through Issaquah.
Right, we're starting to move around up here because we're about, 10 minutes away. And I've got to say, from our vantage point, I can count, I don't know how many helicopters. It's just like a swarm of bees. And that's my own personal concern this morning, is that all the helicopters are safe up there. And I know they're bringing you great pictures, but I hope they're making sure about their own safety as well.
I've turned back to look at the Kingdome and use my binoculars to scout around, and I see absolutely no one.
It looks like a ghost town.
It really
Nothing on the streets. There's nobody around the buildings, nobody on the rooftops. I mean, there is nothing moving down here except for the 150 reporters right here at Safeco Field. You can see nothing alive down here, and
Jim
it's a
Santoro,
strange moment.
Yeah, Jim Santoro, who's going to give the instructions to fire.
The Opus building, are they to be there?
Is about 1,000 feet away from the dome himself, so on second. So
right.
He's got a straight shot look at the dome.
Yeah, it's just
that if somebody comes out there at the last minute.
All right, construction audio is what you're going to hear right now. You're looking at the inside view of the dome. That's the compression ring that's going to implode.
On the roof of the Turner building.
All right, all right. You're looking at the Kingdome, the last 8 minutes that you're going to see the Kingdome here in Seattle.
Kevin, I see him too. He's by the stairwell.
We're told that.
All right, Alaska Way Viaduct now closed.
Did I just hear they started the 15-minute countdown?
15 minutes. All right, they've started the countdown.
Being on the roof of the Turner building.
They're checking security around the perimeter.
He's underneath an overhead canopy. I'd say no. We can color that one pink.
All right, you're listening to the Turner Construction audio. These are the people who are imploding the building. These are the people who are monitoring what's going on. You're hearing what they have to say as they check the perimeter, and they're seeing if anybody's in there.
Okay. This is the culmination of just about a year's work for the Implosion company. They came out here last year to take a look at the Kingdome, to scout it out. And, of course, the work definitely began in earnest right after the last Seahawks lost in the playoffs.
I'm with Tom Gerlach. He has the cell phone for the property manager of the Turner building. Would you like him to have someone go over there and clear them?
All right,
now it's not one person. I see three. If Tom can do that, that would be appreciated. They're by the north stairwell on the roof.
All right. You're listening to the warnings that they're giving for people out of place in the area. The perimeter's been secured. The area's closed.
They want to make sure that security perimeter is tight. They don't want anyone there.
All right, we're getting our last-minute notes here, too. Helicopters buzzing overhead. The radio audio from Turner Construction, that's what you're hearing. the countdown stops at what is officially known as 2 minutes in holding. After a check of the security perimeter, the countdown resumes. So that's what we're going through right now.
Now, we heard, though, on the radio that the 15-minute countdown has just begun. That was a couple of minutes ago, so...
But they're on time. They're absolutely on time, and this building is supposed to blow at exactly 8:30. And we're reminded it's going to blow down, not blow up. It's going to implode.
As we are so close to the end of the Kingdom, what must be the thoughts running through the minds of people who love this place and who absolutely don't want to see it?
One of the things I'm thinking is we haven't even paid for this building yet, and it's only 25 years old, and we're blowing it up to make way for an even grander facility of the same nature. Too bad they couldn't lift it up, float it away, and give it to somebody who wanted a covered stadium, because it still works.
The debt on the dome is about $200 million, not only for the original bonds, but for maintenance and improvements that have made over the years, plus the ceiling construction in 1994. Let's go to Margaret and Paul up at Harborview Medical Center with their view.
Dennis and Jean, it is now serious business. I'm looking across an empty I-5 at the Kingdom and thinking we are down to single-digit minutes now after talking about this literally for years. What do you think? I mean, this is pretty suspenseful at this point.
I am so excited to see this Kingdom come down. It's been a nice one for Seattle for years, and I'm just thrilled to see it come down.
Well, you're going to get your wish in just a couple of minutes. Paul, I mean, it's hard to believe, isn't it? I mean, it's finally here.
It is hard to believe. I'm trying to get some excitement here, but you people really aren't too excited, are you? Yes. Yeah, you see that? It's really not, it's not that big a deal, these guys. They just want to blow it up so you can go home, right? What about you?
We're happy to see it go, but we'd like to see the new stadium up as soon as possible.
All right, well, it's coming soon, sooner than you think.
Say goodbye to the Kingdom. Can everybody say goodbye? Bye-bye, Kingdom!
All right, we're going to do a little thing here.
Well, the excitement continues. Back to you.
All right.
Thank you, Paul. Thank you, Margaret.
Well, we're about 5 minutes away. We're told the countdown clock has begun and we're underway. And so we're going to get up and move out of the way now. And so you just kind of follow us as we do this. We're going to get out of the picture. We're going to give you a better picture of the Kingdom. And we got to move on our little deck perch here. And people around us are putting on masks and they're putting in earplugs. And we're going to keep talking to you, so we're not going to cover up our mouths, and we're not going to cover up our ears yet, but we are going to get out of the way, and we're going to get into the way of the shot so that you can see us and you can see the Kingdom, because we've got about 4 minutes left to watch it. People here at Safeco Field and the platform are getting out their own personal cameras, recording the last 3 minutes of the Kingdom. As the Kingdom comes down. This is your last chance to watch it, folks, and with this beautiful picture of the Seattle skyline in the background, it's your last chance to see this Kingdom as part of the Seattle skyline. There'll be the Safeco Field, and there'll be the familiar Space Needle, and there'll be all the skyscrapers in the background. But you're not going to see the Kingdom anymore. It's going down. It's going to take about 2 minutes after the siren, and the dome will go down, and then 15 seconds for it to completely implode. It's going to be loud. We're going to leave the audio, and you're going to hear the audio inside the dome, where we have the 4 disposable cameras and audio equipment and microphones set up in there, too. So that's what you're going to hear inside the Kingdom.
Now, let's remind you also, we're going to show you the best shots live, but we'll have tape replay going for all of the other cameras that we have. So if what you don't see when the Kingdom does go down, we have it on tape replay, so stick with us.
You're looking at the top of the dome the last time you're going to see that, and it's all wrapped in a special material so that when the dome does blow, pieces of the rubble don't go up and get loose. They go down inside the building. The compression ring is supposed to collapse inside the Kingdom, and the ramps just simply fall down so that the rubble, such as it is, will be inside that perimeter area. That's what you're going to expect to see. We've got 3 minutes left, and in 1 minute you're going to hear a warning siren. And then it's going to get quiet.
Jack, would you like to say a few words, please?
It's going to get quiet, and then we're going to take the audio inside the dome.
Thank you for this beautiful day that you've given us. Now we thank you for a superb crew of CDI and the good contractors that we're working for. And we ask now that you'll give us a good job. No one will get injured, and if it's your will, no property damage. And we just thank you for your goodness and grace in Jesus' name. Amen.
The Turner roof and the roof of the 76 station are now clear.
You were going to try to proceed with things. Please hook up the blasting machine. When you're hooked up. Jack Loazzo, would you like to say a prayer, Dad? Pretty good. I'll say more if you like. Sure, that's fine, Pop.
We've taken the clock out of the scene because we're waiting.
Okay.
We're waiting for the 2-minute warning. We'll hear two 2-second blasts. That will indicate that we're 2 minutes away from the dome implosion.
CDI, we're giving our 2-minute siren. CDI DVs should be running. CDI DV cameras should be running. You read that, Jack?
About to hear the big
Copy
siren
that.
now.
Kevin? Sullivan? Jason? McLeish?
2-minute siren.
Do you have a good, clear visual of the tracks? Affirmative.
We're waiting right along with you.
Clear.
You're hearing the all clear from all the audio at Turner Construction and CDI.
Gene, I'm looking at the dome. I can't believe this thing's not going to be here in 2 minutes.
I can't believe we're so close to it.
I can't believe how loud it's going to be.
Here.
You have a good imagination?
Yes, I do.
That was your 2 minutes.
Not good enough, we're told. 100-mile-an-hour winds generated by the implosion of the dome.
67 million cubic yards of air.
Are you clear?
Last shot inside the dome is
Devin,
still
are you
standing.
clear?
Clear.
You're getting the all clear from everybody in and around the dome.
Jamie, are you clear? Clear. Jesse, are you clear? Doug, are you clear? Clear. Jason, are you clear?
Everybody here securing their
Kevin,
equipment.
are you clear?
Wrapping their
Clear.
cameras. Covering their
Jimmy,
ears.
are you clear? Clear. Will, are you clear? Clear. Cass, are you clear? Clear. You clear?
Clear.
Clear. 1 minute siren, CDI. This is your 1 minute siren.
Weird, man.
Stacy, warm up the blasting machine and tell me when you're in the red.
We're in the red, Jim.
Here we go, CDI. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6.
Oh, my goodness.
That is absolutely the most unbelievable thing I have ever seen.
And it did as everyone predicted it would do. It behaved into itself.
We're watching all the people from First and Goal and Turner Construction give each other big hugs. Absolutely an unbelievable It wasn't as loud as I thought.
I thought it was pretty loud.
It was.
Up here on our platform, it did shake. You can definitely
Oh
feel the
yeah,
explosion.
definitely. Our feet were shaking, and I could feel myself shake inside.
You know, as I was watching it, Gene, I heard first you hear the crackle of the detonation cord. There's actually a commercial plane flying over the dome right now.
Absolutely an unbelievable sight to see a completely functional building turn to dust in 15 seconds. Unbelievable feeling to be here and watch this happen. Absolutely unbelievable. We're about to be inundated by this cloud that's sort of coming our way.
You know, that cloud is moving so very slowly, but you could definitely see the dust and debris being blown down occidental.
I got to tell you,
Safeco.
you better take a good look at us now, because I don't think you're going to be able to see us in about 10 minutes.
Hey, Gene and Dennis.
Who's up in the Columbia Tower.
Oh my goodness, this is an amazing picture to see as this dust cloud spreads out. There are people down below us on the street who had a perfectly great view of the implosion, and now they are walking and running very quickly to get away from the dust cloud. We saw a lot of people that had hard hats on, and it's good that they did. Unbelievable picture from here. You were here from Mount St. Helens. We remember this huge dust cloud that's poured over the northwest. It's reminiscent of that. A lot of people running away from the dust. And what a boom and a shake we felt up here at the building, the Columbia Tower Club. It took about 2 to 3 seconds after the implosion, and then we felt everybody in here just pop with kind of a.
I just want to let you know, if you
our own.
come to us, we're ready to show you. I mean, you can't keep.
Are you in the dust there, Gene and Dennis?
No, we're not in the dust yet, Linda, but you know, it's absolutely amazing.
Yeah, we're all right.
We can see nothing but dust.
Okay.
And then the top of the Columbia Tower.
You can see
us. We can barely see where you are, and this dust is coming right to us.
Well, the dust cloud
is now in the dust now. Alyssa.
Hi, Gene. Sorry, it's going to be kind of hard to even look at you at this point. We got dust all around us. I don't know if you can see my jacket. It's in my hair. These folks right here are... I'm going to bring my mask down for a brief second so you can hear me. Are hiding beneath a tarp that they brought. It really came at us. It was just amazing to see. A bunch of folks were all bellied up against this barricade here, and people pretty much ran right away. I noticed there are some folks here who aren't wearing any kind of masks or any kind of protective eyewear that are doing okay, but we did have a few people that were a little caught off guard by it. Not only did the noise catch us off guard, but of course that dust cloud, which has really been the big thing we have. I'm going to show you what we got underneath here. I think it's Michelle, who's from Bainbridge Island, is underneath here with her dad. Folks bringing their sweatshirts up to their faces. It was really something pretty amazing to see. Richard, if you can pan down to the ground and you can see right there, I'm going to come around with you where you are here. It's just so you can get an idea of what this dust looks like. It is just all over the place. All over the folks down here. We cannot even see the sky. Richard, go ahead and pan up, and you can see a little bit of blue there. But outside of that, that's about it. We are completely overwhelmed.
Yeah, it is. It's getting
with this dust.
It's getting very close to us. It's moving in the direction where we are. It's a good thing it's not a windy day, I can tell you that. And it would have been a better thing if it was a little bit rainy, because the dust is going up and it's going out. It seems to be mostly headed west from where the King Dome is, but Lisa Cohen, our producer, made a good point. We don't really know if the dome is down, because all we can see is this impenetrable cloud of dust. But we can tell you we saw stripes of the explosives go down the ribs of the top of the dome. And you could see the ribs explode, and then you could see the ramps explode, and then you couldn't see the dome anymore, and you could see just this mountainous cloud of thick, impenetrable, sort of yellow-gray dust.
You know what was amazing, as you can see the explosions go up the columns and across the roof, and just for one moment you think, is it actually going to fall? And then all at once it just started to collapse into itself and pull the sides in, and it went off just as advertised by the implosion people. We're not in the dust. You can smell the dust here. You get just a smell of it, but there's no film of dust anywhere south of the King Dome, with the wind blowing basically north.
We believe this implosion was likely successful, but we don't have visual proof of that because we can't see anything about the dome anymore.
Just beginning beyond the exhibition hall from where we are, at the base of the dome, we can begin to see some of the wreckage.
We can see rubble scattered around the perimeter of the dome. You can see
they're actually
people
workers getting out
moving
there.
in there already. Yep, you can see debris from the implosion. You can see the streets filled with broken pieces of concrete. You can see some dumpsters overturned. You can see what looks here to be like the small top of a piece of earth-moving equipment that might have blown off that earth-moving equipment.
Now, as we look down Occidental, KJ, if you can pan your camera just above the exhibition hall to the right, you can begin to see what's left of the King Dome. This is incredible. This is the first signs. This is just unbelievable.
It is just absolutely incredible, and amazingly enough, though we can see nothing of the dome and nothing in a whole block area around the dome, we can see what looks like 2 inches of the top of the Bank of America tower. We can just see the satellite dishes off the top of the tower, and even that now is about to be obscured by this impenetrable dust cloud. The shot I'm waiting to see is when the dust gets thin enough that we can actually see if there's a dome there at all.
It looks like, I see one, looks like a big piece of giant rebar that must be 30 feet, 40 feet tall, just sticking up. Darren Watkins is in Pioneer Square as well.
What can you see, Darren?
Well, we can't see very much. Right after the explosion happened, a large cloud sort of took over the area, turned daylight into night. The first thing we noticed was chunks of what looked like some insulation come flying off and really filled the street. There's a large powder you can see pretty much all over the area. In fact, this is the kind of stuff that we see. This is the larger pieces of what was flying all the way from the King Dome, which is about 4 blocks away. It filled the air with dust, and it's starting to thin out just a little bit. Just a few folks that were here in the dust as well, saying that they expected to see quite the fireworks and they were excited to see the dome. But then all of a sudden, a lot of blinking eyes and things like that because of all of the powder that has covered the area. You can see it's almost about a quarter of an inch, rather dusty here, that's sort of covered everything. But we are told that that is a fine dust from a lot of the concrete, and that if folks get it on their cars here, they shouldn't try to wipe it off because it can scratch, and in fact, they should just try to hose it off. But it's still pretty dark. We're waiting for the cloud to clear right now and see just what we can see of what's left of the King Dome.
Oh, Darren, it's absolutely incredible. The dust has lifted, and we can see the ribs of the dome that were on the roof are now on the ground. The dome is down. The dome is done. The dust is gone.
Let's go to King 5's Jim Foreman up in Sky King. Can't wait to see that picture, Jim.
Yeah, incredible, Dennis. We felt the concussion of the dome going down up in the air. It was spectacular. And look at that picture now. Our first look at the dome as it has been reduced to dust. Looks just like all the drawings and all the animations they had. It just fell in on itself. It is just a spectacular piece of demolition engineering to bring down the dome, just like they said, collapsing on itself. Now, the other story is the dust. There is a thick coating of dust all over the area immediately around the dome to the north. The dust cloud is to the southern edge of downtown. We have not seen any signs of damage of broken windows or anything in the other buildings. We'll keep an eye on that. Traffic now just starting to flow again. I'm Jim Foreman live in Sky King over what used to be the dome.
Jim, it's absolutely unbelievable. The dust has lifted, and we got the first shot of the rubble here. And as you look over the new exhibition center, and then you look to what's the beginning of the new construction that Paul Allen has started where the stadium is going to be, you can now see the ribs that used to be on the roof of the King Dome laying horizontally on the ground, and you can see piles of rubble. The dome's gone. The dust is gone. The dome is no more. It's
looking
done.
at the Sky King shot, it looks just like the animation we had prior to the
Exactly, it was supposed to be. Exactly.
And it looks like they said there would be about 60 feet, the columns remaining about 60 feet high. Some of them maybe, but I think it flattened even more.
Absolutely unbelievable. This is what happened. This is the replay of the implosion that went off exactly as scheduled at 8:30 this morning. And they told us how the explosive devices were lining the ribs of the dome, and we could see the ribs become electrified. It looked like giant firecrackers, and you could see the ribs just explode and then start to disappear. And we didn't have visual proof that the dome was gone until the dust
goes. It's just sitting there. And you wonder, is it going to go? And there it goes.
Absolutely unbelievable. And the place where we were shook. you could hear this tremendous ongoing explosion, and everybody here just said awesome, absolutely awesome. It's one of the most amazing things I've ever seen.
Margaret and Paul,
totally functional, blown to death.
Margaret and Paul up at Harborview, what was it like up there?
You know, we could actually see this just exactly as you described it, just like our animation showed it, with the explosions going up, the ribs of this whole thing just falling down, and then it disappeared behind this cloud of dust that is just now catching up with us. But you are right, that is one of the most amazing things I have ever seen.
Saw a couple of seagulls up there, you know, up along the ridge of the kingdom. Everybody here was those poor seagulls. They don't know what's going to happen.
That's not good news.
I think they got out in time, though, just for you environmentalists. They're okay.
But still, here all the way over across I-5, it was really loud, and you could feel just a little vibration, not what you guys have felt over there at Safeco, but an incredible sight. Lori and Alan are standing by at Jose Rizal Park, I believe, and I'd be interested to hear what they have to say.
Gene and Dennis, it was absolutely fantastic from this point of view. I didn't have an automatic shutter, and I should have had, because I only squeezed off, I think, one picture of the dome standing with the explosions going off, and then it was just a dust cloud.
Yeah, it sure went down in a hurry, and the perspective that we had, the dome was just a little piece of the whole big picture here, and very surreal to see the crackling fireworks on top of the dome, and all of a sudden, ka-whoop, it's gone, and that cloud just surging into downtown from the south. Very wild. Want to bring in, as we look at replays, want to bring in Lynn Perkins and Nicholas Rousseau. Lynn, as you watch that thing, as a Seattle native, right? What did you think?
It's kind of an engineering miracle going up and coming down, and here's to Jack Christensen who designed the original thing.
All right, cheers to Jack Christensen. Also, Lynn Perkins, describe what was going through your head. The dome just got wiped out in about 17 seconds.
Yeah, it was. It kind of crumpled. I've seen a couple of things come down. It was a little different than I expected. I'm kind of sad about it. I'm an engineer and a preservationist, and I think it's kind of a sad reflection at the moment on our society that we choose to blow up a building like that.
And engineers absolutely love this thing. This was a tremendous work, wasn't it?
It was an incredible feat of engineering, and I think where it's going back up is probably not going to nearly marvel that, but architecturally it left something to be desired. So.
All right, some sadness here. Lori?
One other note, I think it's interesting, people in downtown have to be careful. I don't think they can see on those streets, 5th Avenue, 4th Avenue, even 3rd. That cloud is definitely drifting into downtown, so if you're on the streets or planning to be on the streets, don't go there yet. Don't go there yet.
Also, tremendous cheer here on the bridge. We didn't feel the concussion actually from the building itself, but you can feel this bridge going a little bit as people just let up a huge cheer from here and on the hillside down to our left, just southeast of the dome. We should tell you now, traffic is moving east on I-90 now. No traffic yet on I-5. What was that? Okay, no traffic. The highways are clear still and will be for a little bit, a little while, as we take the opportunity to show you more examples of the Kingdom's 24-year life ending in a matter of seconds. Pretty amazing. It just didn't seem real from here.
It didn't seem real, and like I said, if you blinked at the wrong time, you might actually miss it. But it did seem that all the explosions went up the ribs and the columns as planned, the roof came down, and then came the huge dust cloud. Things are beginning to break up here at the 12th Avenue Street Bridge. As people go about getting breakfast, going on home, going to church, whatever they plan to do. But I tell you, it was fun while it lasted.
Yeah, it's time to just get on with another Sunday, isn't it? Sort of odd. Here we were waiting for hours. It's over. It's done. As one woman just told me, flushed. The Kingdom is gone. Let's take it back to you, Dennis, Gene.
All right, Alan, Lori, thank you. I got to say, my reaction as I look at this pile of rubble and the twisted rebar, and KJ is going to give you a shot of what's left of the dome looks like. It's a funny feeling that I have, because this building was only 25 years old, and it worked. Everything in the dome worked, and crablooey, you blow it up and it's gone, to make way for something very similar in terms of function, a little different in terms of design, but it didn't suit the community's needs apparently, and so away it goes.
It's flat as a pancake.
It's a very funny scene to see, and the enthusiasm that the people who were in charge of blowing it up felt for demolishing a building, and the cheers that went up from this platform, it was just a funny feeling seeing people thrilled to this destruction.
It is strange to see. It is as flat as a pancake right now, or as flat as it can be. You can see a lot of dust on the roof of the King Street Station.
I can feel some of the dust now on my nose and throat.
I'm looking down Occidental, and and a lot of the workers there are probably checking for peripheral damage on the businesses and the buildings that line Occidental. And you got to believe there may be some because of you can see very small chunks of concrete. I'm looking at the FX McCrory's building, and I'm looking at windows to see if any had been blown out. I don't see any blown out at this time.
I'm looking at the Amtrak train station covered in dust. I mean, you couldn't see the clock tower at the train station, and the roof and the windows of the train station are covered in dust. Jim Foreman is, he's got a clear shot. It's probably not dusty, and it probably wasn't quite as noisy where you, right, Jim?
Oh, yeah, but we heard it and definitely felt it. There's what's left of the Kingdom. Now let's pull out, talk about the dust cloud. It is now kind of drifting to the north and to the east. It is now up over First Hill, the hospitals, and it is taller than the Bank of America Tower, and it is drifting also into the southern end of downtown. So we still have a thick dust cloud here, and it is drifting very slowly. Traffic is still being held at a standstill on I-5. I-90 starting to reopen again. So that's where you can see. We're just drifting now over Pill Hill now, First Hill, and the dust cloud seems to be moving this way, so close those windows. Back down to you guys.
Well, thank heaven for that little southerly breeze, because it's blowing the dust away from us and blowing it into downtown Seattle, so drive very carefully. And the roads are still closed in some of the areas around here, so drive with caution if you're headed into town. We have an infrared shot of what happened inside the Kingdom. We understand it's very cool, and we want to show it to you now.
This is from Jose Rizal Park.
This is a replay as the dome goes down. It's an infrared shot. All right, so you're seeing what we saw.
There's your light show. There's your fireworks.
And there's your dome, folks.
There's the New Year's Eve celebration. Some people have said.
That was the replay. See, that's why the sign says replay. It was a replay of the New Year's Eve you didn't have.
I think that's what I want to see again. I'm sure we'll see it again. We'll have to rack it up.
There we go. There we go. The infrared instant replay from Jose Rizal Bridge up on Beacon Hill. And there's what it looks like now as the dust lifts.
We're expecting in just a couple of minutes a press conference with Tom Gerlach from Turner Construction, and assuming that he'll be up here to give us an update to pronounce the implosion a success. Also, we would hope to hear about any of the peripheral damage to the buildings and the businesses just immediately adjacent to the Kingdom. Again, it's not readily apparent if there is any. We don't see any windows broken from this vantage point, but that's not to say that there aren't a couple of broken windows somewhere in the immediate vicinity.
Well, there's a lot of dust. We can see that from here. And there's rubble scattered on Occidental, and we can see a lot of the people who are allowed inside the perimeter just kind of walking around, moving stuff out of the way. We haven't seen any earth-moving equipment go in there and start scooping stuff up, or street-sweeping equipment getting rid of the dust. But I can tell you, I can feel it. I can feel the dust in the back of my throat and feel the dust in the back of my nose, even though the biggest part of the cloud is now moved north of here towards Smith Tower and towards 1st, 2nd, and the viaduct. That's the direction in which the wind is taking the dust now. The dust cloud is largely dissipating. Didn't take long. I mean, it was 10 minutes, and the most of that big dust cloud had left the dome and moved towards
Pioneer
downtown.
Square is readily visible from our vantage point right now. As we think about what just happened, it took just a matter of about 20 seconds as the dome is reduced to dust. Well, it's reduced to dust, and it's reduced to big chunks of concrete as we watch the replay.
And it's going to take...
It's really an amazing scene.
It is absolutely amazing. It was a strange, strange feeling just standing here watching this tremendous destruction. Implosion.
What is left of the side of the Kingdom? It will take about another 4 months to grind those large pieces of concrete down to manageable size to be carted away or used as fill for the new stadium.
Well, Bob Collier of First and Goal told us in an interview earlier this morning he wished he could have just floated it up and taken it out to the Sound and dropped it in there rather than imploding it and creating all this dust and rubble, but that wasn't meant to be. I sort of wish they could have floated it up and given it to a city that wanted a covered stadium.
I tell you, the people with the demolition company must be awfully, awfully proud of themselves, because They advertised that it would just cave in on itself, and as we saw until the dust took over the picture, it did exactly that.
The guy from Controlled Demolition, Mark Loazo, said that his daughter Stacy is very sought after because she has such a fun job. Kids are always writing her and saying, we love you, we want your job. Because you get paid for doing what we'd love to do, which is blow stuff up. Very cool.
That's the scene from Elliott Bay. John Curley is on one of the Argosy boats and witnessed what you are now seeing.
Yes, Gene, Dennis. God. I think it was me saying, oh my God. It was really interesting how the sound traveled across the sound. The Kingdome was, of course, known for having probably some of the worst sound. If you've ever been to any concert there, many musicians had difficult times being heard, and it's ironic, I guess, but somewhat appropriate that the last few seconds of the Kingdome, it would take us almost 5 seconds to hear the blast out here on board the MV Kirkland. And you know what? In the time it has taken for the Kingdome to come down, I have perfected, Gene and Dennis, the recreation here. Does everybody on board want to see this thing go? Yeah! Here we go. Are you ready, Kev? Here we go. Give me a countdown from 3. 3, 2, 1. There we go. All right. Finally. That's a Gold Bond medicated powder, Gene and Dennis, that might be blowing its way over towards you. And Dennis, I know you might need a little bit of that. You're a very active guy.
Why, thank you, John. We've got plenty of it over here. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Well, the dome has turned to dust, folks, right here before your very eyes. And now even the dust is gone, and all we're seeing is rubble and rebar. That's what's left of the Kingdome.
You know, we at our vantage spot, if you look into Safeco Field and you just engage in conversation with our colleagues there, and you turn around and look where the dome used to be, and it just doesn't seem to be real.
It isn't there. No, it doesn't seem that it really happened. And it happened so fast, you have to ask yourself, is the dome really gone? The dome's gone, and it's turned to dust and rebar, and the dust is gone. It's gone up to Harborview, understand, where Paul Sylvia and Margaret Larson are standing by.
Quite right. It looks like it's snowing here. I don't know if you can see all the particles in the air. I just took my glasses off, and I'm looking around at a whole crowd full of people holding cloth over their noses and mouths. This stuff smells bad. I don't know what that is exactly that we're smelling, and the particles are a pretty good size. As you were reminded before, if it lands on your car or anything else important to you, it should be rinsed off rather than wiped off because these particles are a little bit sharp, and it's obscured the sun, gone completely over the Bank of America building, past Harborview, and on over First Hill. It's nasty stuff. Back to you guys.
All right, thanks, Margaret. It's probably not healthful for the people who are staying at Harborview for the recuperation either. So hopefully the dust blows away pretty soon and it doesn't leave any damage behind. But boy, there's just a whole lot of damage where the Kingdome used to be. And parts of it are going to have to be chopped up further before they're hauled away because there are huge chunks of the Kingdome left. It's not just dust. They're huge chunks of what used to be the Kingdome. Some of the ribs that you can see that are not completely demolished, and some of the walls and the ramps, you can make out very, very large chunks of debris that will have to be pulverized before it's hauled away as dust.
Part of what we're seeing down on Occidental, a lot of workers in safety vests, and they're going to be checking the utility lines. There's quite a number of gas and electric and water lines down under Occidental. They were checked prior to the implosion, and they're being checked out right now. So the gas people and the power people are there just in case anything has gone wrong. But by what we see from this vantage point, everything seems to have come off without a hitch, and there are apparently no utility problems anywhere near.
And even the construction that's already begun on the new stadium is standing. You can see a tower with the scaffolding going up the side, and that all seems to be intact, and that's part of Paul Allen's new construction for the new stadium. And the old stadium's gone. The construction company people are going to hold a press conference in just a few minutes, and Tom Gerlach is going to talk to us. And it'll be interesting to get from their point of view whether the demolition was as successful as it appears from this vantage point to have been.
Well, that's the company that took out the $100 million insurance policy, so they have a great stake in what happened today, and we're just about ready to hear from Mr. Gerlach.
Turn the tables and do a little video of you guys.
All right, he's got his camera. He said he was going to do a little video.
Let me say this right from the beginning when everybody saw on TV.
Company.
I think I now know how Mike Holmgren and the Seahawks are going to feel when you win the Super Bowl. It is without question a great day for the team and a great day for the city. And I want to start right from the beginning and thank all the cooperation we had from all the city departments, county departments, state departments. Fantastic coordination, excellent command center structure. And wanted to talk just a minute about where we are in terms of moving the site along. And Mark will be here in about, I hope, 10 or 15 minutes to talk about the actual shot itself. We had a textbook implosion. Everything went exactly as we had hoped. We have very little, as far as I can tell, debris outside the footprint. Certainly, high 90s, 99% perhaps, right where we wanted it. I came down First Avenue. We have some fireproofing material out there that's very light and got blown with the dust. I didn't see any concrete whatsoever on First. The cover, the initial assessments of the cover on Occidental was also excellent. And, basically everything went exactly as we planned. The process now, as you know, is that we're taking a look at the rubble, which is actually very flat. And pretty soon CDI will be turning the site over to Amman. And we are still in a command center structure where Jim Santoro from CDI and the police department and the fire department, which is the lead agency, are controlling the perimeter and also access to the site itself. We're starting cleanup immediately. We have quite a lot of people here, a small army of equipment and personnel. We're going to work from the outside in. As soon as the dust gets completely dissipated, we'll start cleanup. I do have a couple of reports of broken windows. As you know, our office is right across the street, and we're in a renovated 1910 building. And we did have a couple of windows crack. And Tom from the landlord has already called me, and we're going to send a cleanup crew. With that, I'll take any questions. I think, I don't know about you, but when we talked about choreography for the last 3 months, and those ribs went right across your vision, it was exactly as we had hoped it would go. And certainly are looking forward now to continuing construction on the stadium itself.
Tom, any more damage that you've been to the new stadium?
I drove as slowly as I could. I couldn't come down Occidental because it was closed off, but I came down First. And certainly the southwest stair tower, which is our new stadium, looked great. The exhibition center looked great. I did see some blown cover off, which is not unusual, the geotextile fabric line in the street, one of the parking lots. But the early assessment of Occidental was great. We're in good shape. And Mark has walked up and down Occidental, so when he gets here, he'll give you a first-hand report.
Can you describe your own emotions, like when the countdown went silent, and then when you saw the direction that it appeared to be going? Just inside, describe the feeling.
Well, it's definitely indescribable. You could see first the charges, exactly as Mark and Stacy and Doug had promised us. Everything was in rhythm. Everything was absolutely sequenced. And then all of a sudden you realize that the building was coming down very fast. And then the next thing you know, the dust cloud is coming right at you. And I saw the Turner sign flapping in the breeze, going at about 30 miles an hour, about 200 feet away. So it was perfect.
Were you surprised at all about the quantity of dust? That was perhaps the most frightening from here. We were all warned about dust, but there was a tremendous amount of dust in the air. It obscured it pretty quickly. More or less dust than you expected?
It's about what I expected. As you remember, on the day we announced the date, I said if you were at ground level, what you would see was dust. That is exactly what I saw. It was dust. And all I can remember, actually, is the ribs going, because after that it was dust. So it's really just what we expected. And with all that rubble inside, which is, crushed concrete already, that has dust as well. So when the upper deck hit, we also had a reaction from the pile. A little more fireproofing came out. There is some structural steel in the dome, and we lost the fireproofing. It's very fibrous, but it'll clean up quite easy. Basically, ducked out of the way of the dust, and then the CDI spotters started reporting in that it was a very flat structure, that everything looked good. Within about 45 seconds, we had an assessment. We were in good shape. Railroad was clear. Occidental looked clear. And that's where we are right now, to tell you the truth. It's a lot flatter than I thought it was. Coming down First, I didn't see anything over 50 feet. but the dust cloud was still there. And my guess is that Amman will start moving some rubble today if they can. If we get an all clear, they have all their people here, there's no other damage, we'll start working today.
Talk a minute about the goals you have for businesses around here. How soon do you think that these businesses, do you think they'll be open for the restaurants around here will be open for lunch? And how soon do you think you'll actually make a dent in what's left in the rubble there?
First of all, our first focus is to look for damage and to make sure that everything is okay. We've started our engineering teams to go down and check all the buildings that we surveyed in advance. We have some old buildings there. We're going to be very careful and do that very thoroughly. At the same time, the cleanup will start. We're certainly going to concentrate on the ID in Pioneer Square, get the dust out of the street, reopen streets. We want to get those restaurants open for lunch, and I think we'll be able to do it.
And the rubble will be a matter of months.
The rubble will take, 3 to 4 months, but if I know Rich Riggs from Amman, if his crews have nothing to do today, I bet he's going to go to work today and start moving it around. We have pile driving crews coming in next week to start filling in the empty piles, which we've already drilled on the south side. And on the north side, we'll start driving piles probably within a week to 10 days. So we're ready to go. Yeah, we have Amman's people are going around, and also the engineering people are going around to make sure that the buildings are safe. That'll go on for several hours. And as soon as we can get people back into their buildings in Occidental, we will. But first, we have to look for extra cracks and anything that might happen. Look at window damage. If the cover has not been blown off, we have to take the cover off. So we got a lot of work to do. I'm hoping Mark does. It went a lot faster for where I was than I thought it would. But mostly once I saw the geometry going in a perfect sequence, I knew we were fine. Someone had a question over here. Yeah. It's always exciting, and most of what we do is to build buildings, and in fact, I haven't seen that many implosions. And it's absolutely exciting, and the CDI personnel, Ray was quite jumpy, and Ray is not a jumpy person. And the relief is palpable at the end. I mean, it's absolutely wonderful. But when you start to see a building of that size start to fall and then come towards you, it's pretty amazing. I think it's the same feeling for everybody.
Implosion. So everything went as scheduled, according to them. In fact, they said the Kingdom flattened out more than they thought it would.
Yeah, he said he drove by and didn't see anything more than 50 feet high. I thought it was really interesting. He began by saying he knows how Mike Holmgren and the Seahawks would feel if they won a Super Bowl, because he said this was kind of a Super Bowl of implosions. He was really, really happy about how it went today.
I was looking at the Alaskan Way Viaduct, and just a couple of moments ago, the viaduct has been closed for quite a while. But a couple of motorcycle police officers were going back and forth. You can see the dust kicked up by the motorcycles, so quite a bit of dust. I couldn't tell you how thick it is, but enough to kick up quite a bit of it as a rooster tail. They'll probably have to clean that off.
I can tell you, as we stand here about a block away from what used to be the Kingdome, the dust didn't come in this direction, but I could feel it in the back of my nose and in my throat. It's just a lot of particles in the air, and everywhere downtown, no matter where you are, it's going to be dusty, and the dust has a little bite to it, a little cut to it, and there's a little smell in the air that's wasn't here before. But the feeling of watching this building go down and watching everybody celebrate the destruction of this huge building was the strangest thing I think I've ever seen. The exuberance at destruction was quite amazing. And I think no matter how you felt about the Kingdome, the power, just the raw power of seeing this explosion, I think was something that everybody was just in awe about.
I still look back to where the Kingdome's supposed to be and can't believe it's not there. And all the things that you can see now that you could not see from this vantage point just a short while ago. It is just unbelievable to think that a structure that was so important to this city's history, a structure that contains so many memories for sports fans, baseball fans, basketball fans, football fans, not to mention all of the other ancillary events that occurred in that structure in 24 years, are now nothing but memories, and the building is no longer.
You know, and not to get too poetic about it, but it just is a reminder of anything that you hold really dear, you got to hold inside you, because the photographs could evaporate, the building as the kingdom could evaporate, but whatever it is that's really dear to you, you've got to have a good memory, and you've got to hold it inside you, because that's where you carry it on.
Let's go to Chris Ingalls. Chris, where are you reporting from? Tell us.
Seattle's International District, Dennis. I think we've renamed it now the Dust Zone, because take a look right next to me here. You can see this car probably about 3/4 of a mile away, and there's just dust all over the thing. It's covered, as much of the International District and downtown part of Seattle are right now. A couple of implosion watchers with us here. Chris, what'd you think when that thing went up?
Oh man, it was intense. My knees were shaking, and just the dust was coming, and I was tasting it. It was freaky. It was awesome, though. I loved it.
As you said earlier, your first taste of the Kingdom, really.
Yeah, I know. I thought the hot dogs tasted bad. It's like these things. Oh man, it was awesome. We got it all on tape too. Good. I loved it. It was awesome.
Great. A couple of high school photographers shooting it for a local cable access channel. Shane, what'd you think when it went up?
Pretty exciting. It was awesome. And then it wasn't even over once it all went down. Then all the dust came up, and there was this big black gray cloud. It started coming down. Looked like it was snowing. It's pretty cool.
And we're all going to go to the dry cleaners after this. And I know that the fellow that's the owner of this car, he thought he did a good job parking close, but not only does he got to clean the jacket, he's got to go to the car wash as well. So that's the downside of coming down to watch the implosion. Gene Dennis, let's go back to you.
Thank you very much, Chris. Thank you. It was many years in the building, this King Dome, many years in the wrangling stage, and 20 seconds to get rid of it. So it just confirms what everybody says. It's pretty tough to build something, and it's pretty easy to tear it down, they say.
And now we have to clean up and get the city back to normal. A couple of things the Department of Transportation has to do. They wanted to check the viaduct structural integrity. They didn't think anything would happen because of the dome implosion, but just to be on the safe side, that's part of what they're doing today. They're also checking the 4th Avenue ramp, which is very close to what used to be the dome, but that was built and completed just a couple of years ago, but that was built to withstand earthquakes of quite great magnitude.
There was one jet that went through the dust just seconds after the implosion, and I think we ought to find out what airplane, what airline that was, and what the pilots and the crew were saying to the passengers on that plane about just how lucky they were to be in this dusty part of history, to take to the air and fly right through that dust just seconds after the building imploded. I mean, it must have been very strange, because they couldn't see anything out of that plane.
Here's the traffic on I-5. I-90 is just about ready to be opened, as well as 520 westbound. In fact, Claudia Cornish is with us. Claudia?
From the Department of Transportation. Claudia, what can you tell us about how traffic is moving now and is going to move?
We do still have our freeways closed, but we're getting ready to reopen them any minute, and that includes north and southbound I-5. Westbound I-90 as far as I-5.
Right, I-5 is open. We understand. We're watching some of the traffic moving
good.
Already.
Yeah, and but we're still going to keep westbound I-90 closed for the time being between I-5 and the touchdown here in downtown. And westbound 520 is reopened as well.
What about the viaduct?
The viaduct, we're still waiting for clearance to have our bridge inspectors go take a look at it.
And how long will that be?
The inspections themselves will take about 20 minutes, but we're not sure exactly when that will reopen yet.
I noticed on the viaduct there was a certain amount of dust that motorcycle police officers were kicking up. Would that be a problem?
My understanding is that there is going to be a sweeping that goes on to clean that off before they reopen to traffic. So I don't have an estimated reopening right now for that highway.
When Tom Gerlach was talking, he said I-90 is 99% where we want it. What's the other 1%? Was there a problem?
No, our bridge inspectors just need to go in there and take a look at that 4th Avenue bridge structure before we reopen it to traffic, and they're in the process of looking at that right now.
All right.
That probably has quite a bit of dust on it anyway.
It's possible.
All right, Claudia Cornish from the Department of Transportation. Thanks so much.
Claudia.
Thank you.
Glad everything went well road-wise, because it could have been a concern had there been any damage. And as we've been saying, this whole area is built on fill, the viaduct in particular, which is why it has not opened yet, because they want a few minutes to inspect it, make sure there's no damage. And we can see there's not a bit of traffic moving on the viaduct right now, but everything else moving on the waterfront, and traffic now moving on I-5 and I-90.
You know, all those seismometers placed around, 200 seismometers placed around the Seattle area. What happened in just 20 seconds, they will take about a year to analyze all that data, to analyze the Seattle fault. And perhaps what happened today and the readings that get from those particular pieces of equipment will give scientists, geologists a better understanding of where the Seattle fault is and what kinds of pressures that it can withstand, or what it might do in the event of an earthquake in this area.
I guess then we should explain the Seattle Fault is the crack that runs through the Puget Sound area into Seattle, and the part that's felt as being most vulnerable should we have an earthquake.
Exactly.
All right, we're going to look at a number of different pictures of the implosion of the King Dome. Right, the people from Controlled Demolitions are about to talk about how, from their point of view, they felt the demolition went. In the meantime, we're going to give you a view of the King Dome and what's left of it. As the King Dome came down exactly on schedule at 8:30 this morning, just about 25 years after it was built, and down to the minute of when they said it would be imploded. I don't know if you can hear us over the whipping of these helicopters around us, but I counted about 17 of them in the sky around us as the building was being imploded. And they're a lot lower and louder than they were before that. I mean,
and they were talking about the winds that would generate from the King Dome as it eventually collapsed. And you could see from some of those pictures the debris that was just pushed out so very quickly. 67 million cubic yards of air. That's a lot of air to be pushed out in just a matter of 20 seconds.
Yeah, we're going to take a break while we clear our throats of dust. And we'll be right back in a couple of minutes with the replay of when the dome turned to dust right here on King 5.